to the No Cap Sports Show podcast, where sports and combos collide. Your host, Fredo, Mo Money, J Will, Mills Lane, and Kobe, the co-returner. Authentic, unapologetic, no edits, no cap. Let the convo begin.
Welcome to the No Cap Sports Show podcast. I am your host, Fredo.
Mo, you need to unmute yourself, but I'm your other host, Mills Lane.
Oh shit! I'm your host, Mo Money.
I'm your host, Kobe the Cobra. What's up, L Train?
What's good? What's up with you?
Hey, what's good, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners out there, man? We got a special guest, man. DC basketball great hoopster, aka L Train, aka Prime Objective. That's right, you already know, Lonnie Harrell, man. Thanks for joining us tonight, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Man, we appreciate you, man. Look here, man, we're not gonna even waste no time. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it, bro. Hey, man, just tell us, man, and let the audience know, man, who were your biggest influences growing up?
Who my biggest influences? Well, my uncle's number one. His name was Raymond Yule. He passed away, I don't know how many years ago. But he was like, that was my uncle. I lived with him. He was like my father figure. Pretty much everything I know came from him. He didn't even play basketball, but yeah, he was a big influence on me playing, encouraging me and, that backbone that I needed growing up.
Wow. Okay. That's what's up. So, man, let me ask you this. Were you a late bloomer in terms of when you first started playing basketball? Because I've heard several stories. I think I've heard you before say that, like, I don't know, and I'll let you tell the audience and stuff like that in terms of you playing basketball late or disinterested or something like that, or in trouble or something to that extent. Yeah, I mean, let the viewers and listeners know that.
Well, I played all sports coming up. Like in my neighborhood, I grew up in Congress Park in Southeast. So
shout out to Congress Park.
We played everything. Like we played football in the street while the cars was coming, and we used to play contact football too. So if you catch a pass with your head turned, you get hit into the car.
You damn right.
Yeah, we played baseball. We didn't call it stickball. They call it stickball in New York. We played one hop. We played basketball. We did it all. But I didn't start playing organized basketball till really 14. Like I played in the rec leagues and things like that, but we were football focused. We played for number 11 boys club, and I played football since 8 years old all the way to high school. But basketball started kicking in when I turned 14. And high school, I was being a knucklehead. I was smart, but I wasn't going to class. I was bored pretty much. And I went to Ballou for like 2 weeks. That's when they had Miss Oates.
Miss Oates, Wanda Oates.
Yeah, she had a good team, and I understood. I respected. I went up Ballou, and she was like, she had her team already, regardless of how good I was or if I could play or not. She already had her team. And when I went to class, my friends used to come to class and be like, "Yo, come on, El, come on," and run the halls. And I'm looking at the teacher like, "Are you gonna save me or what?" Standing there like, and they would walk into class, grab my arm, like, "Come on, man!" And that went on for 2 weeks, and I was like, "Mom, I gotta go." And my cousin went to Eastern, so I was always up Eastern. She was on the flag team or one of them twirl and pole things. And it was so much fun up Eastern. I went to the football games. I went to basketball games like college. So I was like, I want to go to Eastern. So Mr. Neal, who was the principal at the time, and he's still really much involved, in the community and with Eastern, he put his foot down on me. When I got up there, he was like, you ain't coming here to just play basketball. You come to be a student. So if you're playing games, you ain't going to play. And, all you need is a 2.0 to play basketball. I had like a 3.0, and he still ain't let me play because I was being a knucklehead. And I didn't play until my senior year. But things happen for a reason, and it worked out how I was supposed to.
Now, explain to the viewers and listeners your senior year, man, and that recruitment process. Because obviously, I mean, everybody know that you played for Georgetown. But tell, what I'm saying, in terms of that senior year and you showing out and stuff like that, explain to the explain to the viewers and listeners, like I said, that year that you had.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at it now, at the time, I didn't know what I was doing. I was playing basketball because I loved it and I was having fun. But shoot, I shot something crazy, like 70% from the field. It was ridiculous. And but I was only taking. I didn't get a lot of shots. I had a lot of young guys on my team that was guns. They ain't pass. So when I shot, I had to make it. I was getting probably like 12, 13 shots a game when I should have been taking about 20, 25 because we only won 4 games. But I was getting recruited by every D2, D3, and low-level D1 schools. You know, I think my biggest school at the time was Northeastern. But we played against Hawker Prep, and Hawker Prep was #1 in the country.
Yep.
We had them at home. Don't ask me. It was divinity. You know, it was God-driven. We had them at home. And we was in the warm-up line. My coach came and got me, took me in the locker room. This is the best thing he did as a coach. Like, look, I'm going to put you at the point this game. I'm going to give you the ball. Don't make yourself look crazy. He was like, because all the scouts going to be here to see them. And you probably the only one on this team that can play on that level. And shoot, that turned into a triple-double, 55, 11, and 12 assists.
Damn.
In Georgetown.
In high school.
In high school, yep. And Mike Riley was there. He was the assistant coach for Georgetown.
Yep.
And after him being there that game, because they was there to see a guy, I think his name was Sidney something. He was like one of the top defenders in the country.
Okay.
And they was there to see him, but just so happened that day he was guarding me. And, yeah. So Mike Riley was at every game after that, just in the stands, and it turned into a big old thing because Georgetown usually didn't really come out to see anybody that much. And then Big John started coming to the games. And when John started coming to the game, it's like all our games, whether we lose or not, was slam packed. Mm-hmm. And then I got tricked into going to Georgetown.
Explain it, Errol.
So after that game, I told you all those college coaches was in there. It was funny. And at the time, I had no clue. I had no guidance. My uncle didn't play no basketball. My one of my cousins who did, he was in jail. He wasn't home yet. He knew about this stuff. He went to Mackin, and he passed away too, RIP. But I didn't get no letters or anything from any of them other schools. And I ain't think about it. I didn't know anything about college. How you get to college. I ain't know nothing about scholarships. I didn't even go on visits. And we went to Georgetown. My mom's went with me. It was actually her birthday, February 14th. I'll never forget. And we went on a little visit and everything. And Big John tried to put my back up against the wall right there. He was like, look, you're going to take this scholarship or I'm going to give it to somebody else. My mother was like, hold on. We thank you very much. And she was like, but that's not what we're doing. And we left. We walked out on Big John just like that. Wow. And called his bluff. And next thing you know, I was going up there. They were still keeping in touch. I met Patrick Ewing and John Dorn. They call him Bebe.
Yep, Bebe Dorn.
And Bebe be up there training Pat all the time. And I fell in love with those guys. And like still to today, those guys are good to me, good friends. I can call Pat. If I text Pat right now, if he ain't busy or he's playing right now, and he got a game right now.
Right.
He would text me right back. Like that's the type of relationship we got. And I think him and John was one of the reasons why I chose Georgetown, first and foremost. And then everybody was a Pat fan growing up. Even if you wasn't a Georgetown fan, what Patrick Ewing did, it was iconic, and we got a chance to witness that. But it came out to that my high school coach got a call from Big John, and he told him, if you get Lonnie to come to Georgetown, he told him that he was going to help him get a head coaching job, like at an HBCU or something. So I signed Georgetown.
Damn.
I got the newspaper that I picked Georgetown over NC State, UCLA, and all these other schools. I was like, I never talked to any of them. And I would have went to UCLA. I
was going to say, you would have fit in with O'Bannon.
They didn't have a shooting guard and won the national championship.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Well, yep. Toy Belly,
Right. This conversation he came after that.
He came after that. Okay.
So,
wow.
This conversation would have been different right now. I probably would put my ring on while I'm talking. if nobody ain't take it, because I would have been wearing to the clubs and all that.
Was Cameron Dollar there? Cameron Dollar, no?
I think that's when it was. I think Cameron Dollar probably was the shooting guard, but he was really supposed to be a point guard.
Right.
Tyus Edney, the point guard, and
Tyus Edney.
the O'Bannon brother, he wasn't there yet. It was just Ed.
Yeah.
So he's
Okay.
younger than us. So it was Taj, Edney, and Ed, and whoever else they had, but they did not have a shooting guard.
Okay.
Wow.
Hmm.
Go ahead, Mills. What you got, honey? I'm sorry. I ain't want
No,
to take
I'm
a
flashing back to Tyus Edney in
Yeah.
the championship game. Like
Right.
I'm remembering that vividly. It's very strange, like this energy that you give off, and just meeting you. Like I told you pre-show, I'm from this area and I remember you, but it was a quiet, it wasn't like rah, but
Right.
you were known. And so much so that I don't remember you at Georgetown.
Oh,
So what pushed you away for you to finish your college career at Northeastern? I remember hearing about you
yeah.
on ESPN. Dickie Vitale was talking about you, and I was like, Northeastern,
Yeah.
what? And then I was like,
Reggie
wait,
Lewis played there.
dude is from here, and then I was tuned in. So what happened, in that first year to push you to Northeastern, and why was that kind of a better fit for you?
And well, first of all, I always, make this statement. I was not educated about the whole process. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand Big John. And we had a great relationship. We had a great relationship off the court.
Mhm.
Right.
Off the court. On the court, it was totally different. He played so many mind games with me. He wouldn't
Did he
allow
cuss
me.
you out? Because I heard
No, that's the thing.
he cussed like I don't know what.
He cussed everybody
Yes,
out.
he did.
And he would say to me, he'd be like, Lonnie, come here, look at this MF. He'd be laughing. And he'd tell them, he'd be like, see, y'all over here pouting and this and that. Lonnie from Southeast, he don't care about this shit. Or whatever. That's how he was. That's why we were really great off the court. Like, I was his guy. But when the game started, I came during the time of the big man.
Yep.
I get Alonzo. And I played a lot of minutes my freshman year because
You did.
I pass and I can hit an open shot. So you give it to Alonzo, they triple teaming him. He needed people that could stand out there and shoot threes. So that year we had 7 freshmen, and probably 5 of us could shoot threes. So what it came down to was taking care of the ball, and I was good at beating press. So that's why I got in the game a lot too. I was inbound the ball majority of the time when people was pressing and stuff. So I played a lot. I had a really good showing when Alonzo was there. So that summer, I was on one. Oh man, I was working out. I lived here. So I was at the gym every day. I was with the trainer every day, doing conditioning, everything. I was so ready. That's the summer I went and destroyed the Herbo, everything. I was killing everything. And got back to school. I was starting. I was the man. And then things took a change during preseason because the students started coming to the games with big signs saying Lonnie's Loonies. It'd be freezing cold outside. They'd have on shorts and long socks because I wore my socks long.
Yep.
Then the school newspaper, we were in breakfast. I would never forget this. I was with my teammates. One of them was like, look at this. It said Lonnie and the Miracles with a question mark. That's what they used to call Reggie Lewis.
Yep.
Reggie Williams.
Reggie Williams.
Reggie and the Miracles. It said Lonnie and the Miracles, question mark. I know for a fact. I didn't put no emphasis on it. I ain't say anything about it, but things start going left.
Meaning like the dynamic between the players.
Nope, the players.
That was a relationship.
Okay.
The coach.
Got it.
So we was in practice. It was a walk-on. He used to foul me and all this stuff. He was trying to get on the team, and I get it. I was one of the, players who was considered the best. I even had a preseason game when I had like almost 30 at halftime, and he set me the whole second half or whatever. I was doing my thing. So the walk-on, he actually helped me get injured. He knocked me down, and my knee fell and hit the ground. And it was a lot of pain, but I could tell nothing wasn't torn. It was still strong. I was still playing. So one day we're in a preseason game and I'm running and my knee locked. So it was like I had a chip that was loose. It was floating and it would go into my knee. So in my mind, I'm like, no, like I'm having a great preseason. I'm ready for this. I'm like, no, this is not the time. So I didn't tell anybody. I'll wiggle my knee if it get locked. I'll be running the game and it'll lock and I'll like limp or something, and I'll wiggle my knee, it get loose, and I can go back and play. So then one day it got stuck in there and it didn't come out. So the trainer, she was like, "Yep, you gotta get searched." She actually, I think we had pagers or something at that time.
Okay.
She paged me while I was in class, and I left out, went to the phone booth. She was like, "Yeah, you got to leave. You got to go to the doctor, MRI. You got to get surgery. You getting it immediately." I was like, "No," I'm crying on the phone, called my mother, everything. She was like, "No, it's in and out. It's in and out. They have this thing, orthoscopic or whatever." I'm like, "Cool. Go get it." The Trail Spreewell had the same thing. He came back in 12 days. She said, "We're going to beat Spreewell." She was like, "We're going to beat Spreewell." So that was the goal. Came back in 9 days. 9 days, and it was still preseason. So my next preseason game, I came back. I will never forget this. That game I came back, it was at McDonough Arena. We were playing against like the Navy or the Army or somebody. I had like 22 at halftime, and my cousin was sitting on the floor right across from me. And the reason why I will always remember this game, because that's the game I first came back, and that same night he got killed.
Damn.
So that game I will never forget. Fast forward, after that game, that was the last preseason game too. First home game. I'm sitting on the bench. They get ready to call the starting five. This is my sophomore year now. After this great preseason, everything, worked my way back. I was back, ready to go. Sitting down, one of the coaches tapped me on the shoulder, like, "Come in." So I'm getting up thinking he ready, to say something to me. Somebody else go sit down. I didn't start. They didn't tell me nothing. I started in practice, the whole nine, everything. I didn't start. That was it. And then the more of this story is the whole season, I was just used like a utility guy to help win if they needed us to win, or if the team pressing us, I'm inbounding the ball because I can pass. But that was my role.
So you think they thought your head was too big, so they were punishing you?
The rumor was, at the time they called it hardship, that I was going to go hardship. So pretty much like I was going to jump. And I didn't think I was that good. I felt that I was good. But I didn't think about the NBA the same way I didn't think about college. I didn't think about the NBA. I was into the now. I just love basketball.
Right.
I just love basketball. I wasn't thinking about no jumping school. And I wasn't good enough. I know for a fact my sophomore year, I wasn't good enough to go to no NBA. But that was just the rumor and the hype and everything. And other people thought that because I'm good friends with Walt Williams, and he was a senior at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And me and him had a conversation. He was like, "Look, I'm about to leave. You can come right in. I could be the next him." And that was
Gary Williams would have loved that.
Oh yeah, that was pretty interesting. But after that phone conversation, as soon as I hung up, the phone rang. Like, "Can you come down to the office?" They had them phones tapped. The phone network is called the Hoya net.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Yeah. It's called the Hoya net.
Okay, Mills, let me just sneak in right quick because it's strange, bro. You had a good freshman year because I think it was you and I think Joey Brown and that. I remember that and Alonzo Moore and everybody. I don't know if Irvin Church played with you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah.
That sophomore year, I was like, okay. I think they had George Butler. I think he was a JUCO transfer.
He was after us. He was after
you.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not got it mixed up. I thought. Okay. That's what I thought. I thought it was George Butler the following year with Othello Harrington and stuff like that.
Othello and Dwayne Spencer and a guy from Serbia. I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I know, I was looking for you, and you was nowhere to be found. I was like, okay, what the hell happened? What the hell happened? That was it.
I was still at school though. I just didn't play. I wasn't going. That was my junior year. I wasn't going. I was going to classes, but I wouldn't go anywhere near the gym. And
so did that mess with your confidence?
No, I didn't. I transferred in January. Not because while I was doing that, I was still going up the hill on campus hooping every day. I just love to play basketball. Like right now, that's look, I got tights on. That's why I just came from the gym hooping, and I just love it. I just love to play. I'm happy playing. That's it.
So Northeastern, though, you were being recruited out of high school for Northeastern, and you got trapped at Georgetown. But what was it about that family of teammates and coaches that you felt, okay, I can share my talents, because I mean they're not, they're small division, small conference, they're not a Georgetown, it's not the Big East. Was that a humbling experience, or were you just, like you said, you like to play and you knew you were going to go and play?
It was two things. One was if I didn't go to Georgetown and I didn't get a high major school, I was going to Northeastern. The assistant coach, I can't even think his name off the top of his head right now. Really liked this guy. I bumped into him actually a few years ago at Georgetown. He was on vacation. Funny thing, he lives in Florida, but he was on vacation up here. I get it. But he was a great guy. He met my moms. We liked him. We really, really liked him. And I called him when I was ready to transfer. But the thing was, when I left and went to Northeastern, they're on a quarter system.
Okay.
But like I said, I was still in school at the time at Georgetown. Nobody knew that I was still going to school. I used to hang up there all the time. I used to be with everybody. But I was still going to school because I knew I had to get my credits regardless after I was trying to transfer. But I started Northeastern that January after the season. I went to Northeastern because it was a quarter system. So it don't matter which quarter you go, you just jump right in.
Right.
And keep going. So I went there January. That was a quarter. Then the spring semester, summer, right on to the next year. But back then I had to sit out anyway. So I had to sit a whole year. And those coaches got fired before I started playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you got, Mo?
Man, so y'all know him as L Train or Lonnie, from that era. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I know him as Prime Objective.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? From the AND1 mixtape tours, like I told him earlier, in this generation, they say Steph Curry ruined the game or whatever he did with it. In my era, man, it was AND1. I'm telling you right now, the reason I ain't have a basketball career because I stayed on the bench. I wasn't trying to run no plays. I just wanted to oohs and ahs. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest debate we always had growing up, and we all had our favorites, whether it was Main Event, The Professor, Hot Sauce, Skip to Malou. Do you think that AND1 players could have made it in the NBA and been successful at it?
I'm gonna say this, right?
Good question.
So I've done both. I played against pros. I've been in NBA camps. I played NBA Summer League. Played summer leagues against pros all around the country. Played against, pretty much everybody. I played with Michael Jordan. I ain't played against him. I was on his team. But even though I was on his team, that was a battle within itself because he's so competitive and he ain't know me at the time. But Aaron Owens, as AO, is a pro. And a lot of these guys that like the whole documentary, when they was talking about they laughing and all this, and they was talking about Hot Sauce. Hot Sauce was not a high-level basketball player. So they used him as an example, right? I don't know who else they talking about, but we already know Skip. See what Skip did. He got his team to the championship as a starter against the Lakers and gave the Lakers problems.
He did.
Helicopter, which people only saw him dunk. I played in the ABA with Helicopter. I'm supposed to be the man, but the type of player that I am, I don't get in nobody way. He was averaging 40 points with me.
Damn.
Yes, coming off screens, catch and shoot. And I didn't even know I knew he could shoot like that because we had this overseas tour that we did, but we were playing against each other the whole tour. So me and him had battles when we went back and forth and made like eight threes each a piece without misses. Then I made another 2 and I beat him. But he was coming off screens fast, catching off the pass, just rising up in the air, splash, dropping 50s. He dropped 50s on. Well, I hate to say it. I don't like to put people.
Say it.
I'm going to say it. We played in Boston. We played in the Boston team. We played against DC there. White Chocolate, Lawrence Moulton, all these guys. Lawrence Moulton was checking him. He had 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sorry, Sam.
Off catch and shoot. Wasn't too much of him putting on the ground, but he could put it on the ground and pull up. Helicopter could have been a pro. Tony, go get it. Mm-hmm. He could have been a pro for sure. If main event, I think main event played big a lot. So he was probably the undersized big. He didn't start developing into more of a guard later. If he would have developed as a guard earlier, he definitely had the physical. Put it like this. Today, him in his prime, he could play in this league right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could do it. So all that crap about that. And then I think Kyrie, he kind of slighted it, but he put it in perspective. He was like, this is what we do. Like, our focus, our level of discipline, all this. He's right. He's correct. Because like Shane the dribble machine, he said, he was like, man, I just smoke all day. I do this and do this and do this. So wasn't really working on his game and stuff like that. But the guys that I named, if they were in position to work out and do training and have all the stuff that these guys have now, they could have did it, you know. And I was right there. They don't ever mention me in none of that because most of them I played against, or they seen me somewhere playing against somebody who was in that league and they saw what happened. So they don't mess with me. They don't bring me up in that stuff.
So you think it was a choice that so many of the AND1 players did not necessarily translate into NBA? Do you think it was a swag and attitude, or do you think maybe the higher ups in the NBA thought they're already kind of pros in a respect? We can't mold them. They won't listen to us. Why didn't it translate? Or were they just, some of them, like you said, like, this is what I do. I'm just trying to do this. It's for entertainment.
Yeah, so like the ones who I think that wanted to, like myself, AO played in the D League. I played against AO in the D League. I was in the D League first. Skip called me and was like, man, they trying to get me playing the D League. You think it's worth it? I told him, I was like, dude, you would get called up in a week if you came to the D League. I told him. He came, he got called up. Sam, what's Sam's last name? Shoot. He was the coach. He played in the NBA too. Sam, was it Sam Vincent? Damn, I think so. He was like,
yep.
Yeah, he was like, yo, he said, you got somebody else that could take Skip place? I said, I sure do. I called AO. And it wasn't even my team. I played in Huntsville, Alabama. That team was in Mobile. I called him. I said, AO, yo, come play in the D League. AO went over and took Skip's team and won the championship.
Damn.
So it was the D League before the G League.
Damn.
He came over and won the championship. I called him the Black Steve Nash. Because he, like Steve Nash started that thing you see when you see players run all around the baseline, keep their dribble and all that. AO used to do that and throw dimes. And
AO was nice, man.
He did it effortlessly. His
prototypical point guard too.
Yeah, his stop and go. He stop on the dime, change directions, either hand. Like it's times that we'll be losing and he'll get pissed off at the team. Like, F y'all, I'm about to go shoot the next 10 shots. He'll do it and be 10 layups. Couldn't nobody stop him from doing it.
Yeah. Jamie Carter said Sam Worthen.
Worthen, that's it.
Sam. Okay. Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks. Yeah, so like AO definitely was a pro, but AO is my guy, and like myself too. It was a rumor about me too. Like we like to party. They used to say that I thought I was in the league before I got in the league because you know my game. I used to play with NBA players all the time, party with them. This is why I was in college still. Like at Northeastern, Shaq, Penny, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott came to my game when they played the Celtics. You know, they come walking in Northeastern gym, you know, to see me play. So I was at all the award shows, and I was like, how these guys are now, how these kids now. That was me back then.
Wow.
So, you know, it was just a matter of timing. I was out here before I should have been.
Yeah.
It happens.
What you got, Cole?
So, El, I was going to ask you, we know what you accomplished on a basketball court. You accomplished quite a bit. You're definitely one of the best players to come out this area. But in your opinion, do you think that you get that respect, though? Enough respect as far as how great you were coming out of the DMV? It seems like, do you feel like you get the respect, or do you feel a little hate a little bit sometimes?
First, thank you. I thank you for your generous words. I appreciate that. I definitely get it. I feel it and everything, but I love it though, you know, because I'll give you an example. Right now, I play in the 50 and over league, and I play in the young league. The young league is guys 20s, 30s, or whatever, and it's kind of backwards. They respect me so much. Like last game on the court, one of them asked me questions. Like, man, I heard that you was this, you was that, man. That's what's up, man. Man, if you anything you could tell me, whatever, share, blah, blah, blah. I play in the 50 and over. They still talking. People on the sideline still hating. Still today. And the reason why, and I know why, it's like a region. It's like segregation almost. So first,
Okay.
they segregated us in DC with Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, Northwest. So that was a beef in the streets on its own, right? But I'm from that part of Southeast where nobody goes. Like we can go uptown, we can go through Northeast, even back then, because it was things up there that we needed to go to.
Right.
If we don't go to a go-go, guess what? We got to go in somebody else's neighborhood. We got to go somewhere else. It's nothing where I'm at. There's no reason to come there. Then it's across the bridge and it's a trap. It's one way in, one way out. And that's where I was from. So when I go places, and then I'm a loner, I don't hang with people. I don't go sit in the basement, drink beers and talk trash and stuff like that. I was just never interested in doing that because I was late when it came to that anyway. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything through college, semi-pros, none of that. I was strictly basketball. So I think that me being away and not blending in with basketball players, I never hung with hoopers. I just hung with my neighborhood friends, people I grew up with. And to this day, I got one friend right now. Everybody know him. They're going to laugh when I say his name. But Lavelle, this man's still getting debates and arguments about me today. Today, at 50 years old. Like in this league I play in now. Like it's still dudes, he look, he this. But I'm getting doubled and triple teamed at 50.
Okay, El, but why though? Why though? Why where's the hate coming from? Why? I'm not understanding.
Let me add to your question, Fred, because I don't know if you remember this, Lonnie. We kind of had this conversation years ago back at the old 501 club. And we was talking about like the best players coming out of DC. And I think I had told you some dudes was like they omitted you off the list, right? Because they was like, well, Lonnie think he a New York dude. He New York. He ain't DC. So can you add to that?
Good one, Cole.
Hey, when he started his question, that's where I was about to go.
There it is. Let's go with it.
That's where I was about to go. So I fell out with so many people over this. Now, first thing, whenever I come home, I go down Berry Farms and play some games and stuff, right? Berry Farms playoffs and championships around the same time the Rucker championship and playoffs.
Shout out to Miles.
Now, yes, I love it. I love my hood. Well, first of all, my hood never had a team. My best friend did, the one I'm talking about, Lavelle. He had a team, and I played for him. And, he understood. He ain't like it, but he understood. I would miss games at Berry Farms for the Rucker. You want to know why? They were giving me $50,000. Up there, they putting me in the W. We going out that night. They're going to put $5,000 more in my pocket. I go to Puffy Restaurant because he wanted me to play so bad. It was bidding wars for who team I'm going to play on.
Wow.
So I go up there and go to Justin's. It could be 20 people. I had 10 girls, my dudes, Lavelle and my Ty, Katie, my friends from here. They drive up. We go to Justin's. We up there deep. We eating like, yo, can we get the check? Oh, it's taken care of. Like, I was the king of New York for 3 summers. And New York guys will say that with no hate. They'll say it. They'll tell you, like, Prime, you was that. Before my games, what's the guy named Drop the Bombs all the time? The DJ on Hot 97. They
DJ
like
Envy.
Yeah, they like, yo, Prime Objective is at the Rucker tonight. Like, it's on the radio. We in the cars driving up sometimes. We listening to the radio because their hip hop was different than ours back then. It was like mixtape.
Right.
In the middle of the thing, Prime is at the Rucker tonight. We get these lines wrapped around the corner. I see so many people from DC that just drove up, my friends that want to see me play by the gate, can't get in. I get to the gate, like, yo, they with me. They're like, oh, come on. Everybody, we just going up in there. Then we go out after. Like, come on now. I'm going to go here and play for free. I'm not in the league or nothing. I'm playing in little minor leagues where I'm making probably $200 a game or something like that. And these dudes giving me bags, like game-changing bags, like salary bags. Like, come on, man. That was a no-brainer. And then Jay-Z started Rock-Aware. So I come from New York. I play a game from New York, come home and have a game at Georgetown the next day in the Kennel League. And I have on some new Rock-Aware gear, this, that, and the other. And some of these guys that had clothing lines would be like, yo, wear this, wear that, wear this, wear that. First of all, yeah, I don't mind doing that. Like Shooters, Rob is my guy.
Okay.
So I took shooters. That's all I wore to New York with shooters. And he got in with the second team I played with, Murder Inc. They became friends. They started wearing shooters. They started pushing shooters too. Shooters Rob sponsored my team down the farms. So him, yeah. And guess what? He went to Eastern. He from where I'm from. So yeah, I'm gonna wear his and report. I mean, represent him. So other guys asked me to do it. First of all, I didn't like it, so I'm not gonna wear it. That's number one. I'm not. Then number two, like, you can't get upset because of that. You ain't from South Side or whatever. It's segregation.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna put madness is universal, and let's see. Oh man, this makes so much sense. Universal Madness. That's what they turned their name into. Because guess what? They used to drive in every hood in that van and take shirt orders to print your t-shirts and stuff. God damn, all this time. You see that? Universal Madness. But the other people ain't do that. They didn't have no connection to the neighborhood.
Shout out to Eddie Van.
Yeah, shout out to Ed. That's family. Ed, Ty. Yeah, them dudes. Yes, sir. But yeah, so that whole thing about me being a New Yorker, hey, if that's what they want to say, I was a New Yorker, look, it's because of that New Yorker that was in me had me on the movie Hustle just this past, few months ago. That was because of New York. It was New York that put me on AND1. You know what I'm saying? So that helped shape my life. Where I came from, created me, made me, prepared me, that advanced me. So if people hate that and mad about that, so be it.
So you playing in the record leagues? You play for what? Fat Joe, Jay-Z, Murder Inc.
So I played for. So people don't know about Black Hand. That was 50 Cent manager.
Okay.
Too. Yeah, this dude, he was ruthless. Goodness gracious. That was the first team I played for up there. Then I played for Murder Inc. I played with them. And then after that, I played for Jay-Z. Yep.
Gosh. So tell us about your experience, because I saw a picture where you played with someone that we like and admire, especially I think it's Mo Money right here. That's Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah. That's classic. It was a shock as well. I was in New York already. I was actually doing a photo shoot with The Source. And oh no, that was Vince. My bad. That was Vince Carter. Different story. When I was in New York for Kobe, I didn't know he was coming until probably like an hour before the game. And it was Steve Stout. And this one, Kobe, Nike had dropped him, the allegations, all that crap. So he could wear anything he wanted at that time. So he was on a mission. So Steve Stout, being a marketing guy that he is, felt like, Kobe's come to the hood. Come get your people, come win your people back. And they called me and was like, yo, you ain't gonna believe who I got playing with us. I was like, man, I don't want to play with no NBA guys. Like, I did not want to play with NBA guys. He was like, man, we got Kobe. I still say, I was like, man, let him play on the other team. That was my response. I was like, man, let him play on the other team. They was like, nah, Prime, we can't do that, man. He was like, yo, you don't realize this is classic, man. You don't know what's about to happen right now. And I'm thankful that the little ego that I had set aside and listened, because I don't listen all the time. I know me. I don't. But I listen. And because I listen now, this opportunity happened. This relationship was created. Like, that guy, I mean, he embraced me. He let me know that my path, how I went about. He's younger than me. I wish I would have met him when I was younger. Like,
wow.
The Kobe that I met at that time, I wish he was older than me.
Wow.
He put so much in perspective. He put the mindset that I already had, but I felt like a rebel. I felt like I was outside the box. Like I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do with nobody else, but I was correct though, because that's how he became who he was. Because he believed in himself. He believed in what he can do. Like Kobe tell you, like the half-court shots, crazy turnarounds and all the stuff I used to do. I did that stuff. That wasn't the first time I was doing it. I played so much pickup that I used to just experiment. And that's how he used to practice. Like after that, they called me and was like, yo, Kobe wants you to come to LA. I was like, enough said, when? They was like, now. I dropped everything I was doing. And all them stories about him working out 6 in the morning and 4 in the morning. And that stuff is real. But guess what? He had people in there with him passing him the ball, simulating the whole game. All those shots that I used to look at TV, be like, this dude takes some bad shots. He forcing shots. No, that's
so explain to the viewers and listeners about, like I said, you're right, about his whole entire mindset and his determination to be great.
So the first thing he told me, because even like when we played that game again together, they knew, what I was capable of. And usually when somebody comes, like when Vince Carter played me, I get out of the way. I pass the ball and let them shine because people see me all the time. So I'm like, let him go ahead and shine. He was like, dude, you never do that.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I don't care who you playing with. He was like, you never do it. He said, this is your show.
Damn.
And if you look at the video, like the first 6-7 times, he came to me. Like I got this one clip. I got it on my phone. I keep it. As soon as the game starts, I have the jump ball. I get the ball. I'm dribbling down court. He right beside me. And he was like, let me see that. I bounced it and he just continued to dribble. I put my hands up like this and I ran over to the wing. He passed it right back to me. So what he was telling me, like, let me run the point. I'm coming to you.
He wanted to watch you shine. Where were you?
Wow.
Where were you, Lonnie, when you heard he died and died so tragically? I think everybody remembers where they were at that time.
It's so bad. I was at the Maryland women's game because one of my players, Shakira Austin, was playing with Maryland.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Shakira. She's nice.
Yeah, and I'm sitting in the stands. It wasn't on TMZ yet. It wasn't on anything. One of my friends in LA called me and was like, yo, where you at? I said, I'm at a basketball game. He's like, I'm about to tell you now. Phone about to start blowing up. Stuff about to hit the fan. I was like, what? He was like, yo, Kobe dead. I said, man, stop playing. He was like, got like 5 minutes before everybody gonna know. And by the time the game was over, we walking out to the parking lot. TMZ had it. I was just in the car. I didn't even drive. I was driving, but I got in the back seat. I was just boo-hooing. And I was like, I don't be crying like this.
Yeah.
But it was more so because I was coaching girls at the time. And then he started coaching his daughter and his daughter's team. So it was more so, not that he just passed away, but what he was trying to do, as far as the girls' game. And I was so passionate about the girls' game. Like, it just broke me. I couldn't even take it. It just broke me.
Yeah. Okay. So look, Lonnie, before we get to our rapid fire, hey, India, thanks for joining us, hon. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
we can't wait to get your perspective when we get to this next content. So just bear with us for a second.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Okay, hon. So, hey, Lonnie, so look here. We about to get to the nooks and crannies of everything. It's about to get a little spicy right quick. Okay. So, I got a couple of LeBron James Knights. I call them LeBron Knights on this podcast.
Don't do a lot.
No, you
don't go off on his
Don't let him suck you in.
Look,
Hey, man.
y'all about to get a whole different perspective from thumbs and talking about it.
Okay.
All right, let's get it.
Okay. So yeah, we got two major fans, and that's Mo Money and my man Cobra right here.
Right.
So
He
look
already know. He already know.
He knows. I want you to look here. I want you to give all the viewers and listeners and everybody on this panel your perspective about LeBron James. The floor is yours.
All right, now and people never agree with me, but they see it now. I go back to when he played with Dwayne Wade. LeBron is a hell of a player. I always say to the man great at what he does. My beef with him is the credit that they give him doesn't add and match up. So they always say he makes players better. He has not made one player better. What they do is they do this for everybody. It's not only him. They build teams around the best player so that the best player can be successful. When he won the championships, he had 4 to 5 guys that shot 35% or better from the three-point line for a career before they got to him. Players who can stand around, space it out, and allow him to be who he is. That's why when Antoine Jameson had an all-star season with the Wizards, went to LeBron the next year and fell off the cliff.
They did.
Kevin Love, 27-15. Went to LeBron, fell off the cliff. Anybody that's a space eater can't play with him. Anthony Davis. Bron gets hurt for 6 games. This man averaged 37, 17, 5 assists, 3 block shots because he's back to where he wants to be. AD don't want to shoot threes. His 3-point coach, I'm cool with, said that man don't even show up. The Lakers want him to shoot threes and everything. Say he don't even come to the workouts. He don't want to shoot threes. That's not what AD want to do. But guess what? We, the people, criticize him. He keeps shooting all these threes and da-da-da-da. Nope. It's because he's eating the space up that Bron needs. Because Bron doesn't have quick twitch, a quick twitch game where you throwing the ball and he can quick, boom, get by you, pull up, boom, to the rack. He got a rhythm, see the floor, make sure he know where everybody at. It's 12 seconds before he go to score.
Right.
So if you're not a Ray Allen or a guy who can stand there like this, and then that ball coming, you just can knock it down like a robot, like a machine, you don't fit him. And guess what? He don't have that now with the Lakers. Now, this is the part, now this for Kobe right here. That's why he not playing tonight. Not playing. They playing Toronto. He don't want that smoke. He don't want to get out there and be like, oh, nah, see, now AD gone. We just lost yesterday. If I go play Toronto and we lose, it's going to come on me like, oh, he can't win without AD. LeBron is smart.
What you got to say, Kobe?
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree on that one.
I'm trying to tell you, the dude is smart. He is calculated, Slim. He is calculated.
I'm not saying he may be calculated, and he is a smart player, but LeBron is injured right now too. We have to remember that he's nursing his ankle for about a week now. You know, he played yesterday. I think it was a back-to-back. I don't think they want him to play the second game of a back-to-back. But what I'm gonna challenge Lonnie on is, I believe he do make players better. I think that's why I believe that the teams LeBron has been on historically, even when is a team that we don't consider as a talent latent team, he seems to be able to take them to further pastures than we would think anybody else could. Even if they don't win a championship, I think he gets the maximum potential out of his teams. I mean, you look at he played with Mo Williams. Mo Williams playing beside LeBron James was an all-star. LeBron James leaves. Mo Williams wasn't even a starter again. He came off the bench, not even just for Cleveland, but even the next team he went to. He went to Utah.
Let me say one thing. I don't mean to interrupt. I don't like doing that. I want you to finish, but I just want to stop on the Mo Williams part. Minnesota, before he got to LeBron, off the bench, 16 points a game, 45% from three-point line.
And that's excellent. But with LeBron, he All-Star Weekend, baby, February 14th through the 17th.
And that's excellent.
Remember what I said about those 3-point percentages?
Yeah.
He needs those guys. Like Bron needs them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. And I agree with you as far as the quick twitch moves and stuff. He doesn't have that. Now, I give you that. He does need to be in rhythm. He needs to have the ball in his hand. And his number one strength is creating for others. I think he's a facilitator before he's a scorer. He's an opportune scorer. You know what I mean? I think he's a pass-first player. He's not a shot-first player.
How can you be a pass-first player if you always lead your team in field goal attempts and you never average 10 assists? One time. That's when AD came.
You want to combat that, Mo?
The hockey is.
No, I mean when he talk about like killing post players, LeBron has to operate in that space. So he's not lying. There's no post player that's going to be able to really play with LeBron like that. That's why Chris Bosh, who was an all-world player,
good one, Jamie.
It went down to like the third guy, and he didn't look the same, you know. So he's not lying in his assessment. As far as LeBron making players better, I believe that any superstar, by virtue of their talent, is going to make other players better. You know, I think sometimes
better because the motivation that he gives him, his style, he got to play with, and things like that. Yeah, and then think about it like this: you go play with him, you definitely gonna rise to try to keep up with him. So that's a given. So let me clear it up. When I say that he makes players better, I'm looking at it like this. All right, say like I love Shea Gilgeous right now. I love
you both.
Right.
He go play with LeBron, he will not be how he is right now.
No.
Because he's an active motor guy. So if you put him over and he just standing around, you're taking away so much from him. And everybody, and I get it, it's LeBron James. Everybody has to change and adjust to play with him.
And he don't make the changes.
He don't make the adjustments to play with others.
Right.
So that's why.
Now, on the flip side of that, now, I believe he can make Buddy Hill a superstar. If Buddy Hill played with LeBron James,
yeah, but he's an off the ball shooter, though. Bro. He's an off the ball shooter, Mo.
Check this out. This is what I'm gonna jump out there at. Right. I'm gonna jump out there and say this with Buddy Hill. Buddy Hill would probably kill the first 10 to 15 games, then he gonna fall off a cliff. Because once after Bron reel you in, get you excited, and have you going, he gonna change back.
Okay.
Now,
all right, guys.
Down here said like Westbrook. Now, Westbrook problem is Westbrook. It hasn't adapted his game. He's in his mid-30s. He needs to continue to work on his shot. When the athleticism is fading, you got to continue to evolve your game. He's always been a low efficient player. That had nothing to do with LeBron James.
No, I got
everything to do with Russell Westbrook.
So let me say this: the games that Bron was hurt, what Westbrook looked like.
He was killing.
You know, he averaged 15 assists in those 6 games, right?
How many turnovers, Mo? How many turnovers?
3 games with 0 turnovers.
Okay.
But that's
because
off the bench too.
He getting to touch. Yep, he getting to touch the ball. He getting to feel. He getting to push it how he want to push it. Look at last night, him and Bron out there. That man was throwing the old turnovers that he was throwing last year, giving the ball away. He helped blow the game. I will say that he helped blow it. But the superstar pissed me off because when are you going to engage in those moments? You saw Mitchell step up. You're gonna let Mitchell outduel you in the 4th quarter? He just let Westbrook and whoever else do whatever they want. He just stood out the way and cut to the basket a few times and get mad, turn over, don't run back on defense. Yeah, no, like, when you're a killer, you want that. You want all that smoke. You're like, come on, dude, give me the ball. Now you to clear it out and then go to work. But he ain't attempt to one time. That's what be pissing me off. And I'm a Lakers fan. I said it when he came. I'm going to learn. I'm going to try I'm going to try to love this guy. I'm going to so he makes it difficult, man. Oh, my goodness. He makes it so difficult.
He does. All right, guys. We about to get to the next segment of the show so we can get to our next content. That's a roundtable rapid fire. Okay, Lonnie, like I said, look here, we're not gonna hold back. We asked you, like, we got a lot of questions to ask. Kobe, you want to jump in, big little bro? You go ahead and flow in. I got a lot of them. Mills, you do what you do, and we just pretty much flow from there. All right.
I'm just enjoying Lonnie. Lonnie, you need your own show, bro. Like, for real.
He gonna plug it.
Okay,
it's coming. All right. So, all right, L, favorite shoes to hoop in?
New Balance.
Okay.
These Kawhi Leonards right here, but
okay, we didn't even talk about Kawhi Leonard. We'll get to load management another day. All right, cool. All right, favorite basketball team growing up?
Oh, Lakers.
Best sports movie?
Hustle.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good plug. That was a plug, wasn't it? That was a plug, right? That was a plug. He know what he's doing, right? All right. Game winning assist or game winning basket?
Game winning basket.
Favorite teammate?
Oh man, oof! I had a few. Shoot, I only count and1 because I don't say AO, but in the D League, Snap Hunter from Memphis.
Okay, all right. Shout out to Snap Hunter. Name the player that gave you the business.
Mike Lloyd, Baltimore.
Oh my God!
Hey,
you know about Mike Lloyd. You know about Mike Lloyd Mills.
I remember.
Yeah, man. Stocky dude.
We like this. That's my guy.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Mike Lloyd. Okay. Soul food, vegan, or seafood?
Seafood.
KD, LeBron James, or Scottie Pippen?
Scottie Pippen.
I knew it. What NBA player influenced your game?
Scottie Pippen. Magic Johnson.
A place you would like to travel?
That's almost like what's left over.
That passport
Man.
booked up.
Oh, Cape Verde. Cabo
Okay.
Verde.
Okay.
I don't even know what the hell that is, but okay. All right, that's what's up.
Coast to Africa.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, he
Damn.
went to Northeastern. Yeah, I know.
That must mean it was some women. That's the code word.
That's why I originally signed with Boston College.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Best summer league. Rucker, Goodman, Watts, Drew League, or Urbo.
Urbo.
Yeah.
I figured I'd reel you in, champ.
You would have left that off.
I know. I knew you was going.
They would have called me a New Yorker.
All right. Kurt Smith for AO.
Ooh. They listening, Lonnie. They listening.
Talk your shit, Lonnie. Kurt Smith. And shout out to Kurt Smith. That's one of my favorite 5 basketball players ever. Kurt, we need you on this show, buddy.
Me and Kurt never lost playing together. We never lost a game playing together. But no slight to his game. He's a dog. One of the best ever. AO.
Okay. One word answer. John Thompson.
Teacher.
Allen Iverson.
My little brother.
Kobe Bryant.
A younger teacher.
Favorite hip hop artist of all time.
Jay-Z.
Least favorite hip hop artist of all time.
Whoever rapping now, that what's this stuff called? Any of them, take your pick. Mumble rap.
All right. JYB, Backyard, NEG, or RE.
Oh man, you see now you trying now. This is more difficult than picking Kurt or AO. Sheesh. See, Junkyard, that's territorial. That's Southeast. But then White Boy and
You from Southeast?
I know. RE man.
All right, that's what's up. All right, top 5 NBA players of all time.
Magic, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Scottie Pippen, Will Chamberlain.
And you guys noticed that LeBron James is now in that top 5. That's why I asked him that question.
I also noticed that Kevin Durant ain't on there either. So sit down.
He on our top 10, champ. All right. Top 5 college basketball programs of all time.
Kansas. I'm still going with Georgetown, regardless of what's going on now.
Yeah, we got to fix Georgetown, bro.
Man, that movement, man, goodness gracious at the time. But what I say, Kansas, Michigan State, Duke. I said Georgetown, Kansas.
Okay. And this is the final question before we get to this last segment and get everybody out of here. Okay, so you know what, Kobe, know where I'm going with this. I need you to pick 10 players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, outside of yourself, I need you to pick 10 players. You about to go to Dallas. You about to go to the heart of Texas. You about to go to Compton. You about to go to Watts, and you know what I'm saying, out Cali. You about to go to O Block in Chicago. You about to go to the Bronx in New York. I need you to pick 10 players from the DMV area that you taking with you, and y'all ain't losing for shit.
I'm gonna start with some ones that people want. Any area, just people I ever played with, or
people that, yeah, exactly, man. However you want to do it.
John Turner.
Shout out to John Turner.
Mike Smith. Got to get the bigs out the way. Mike Gill.
The Thrill.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. All right, Kurt Smith.
Yes.
Moochie Norris.
Yes.
Greg Jones.
Shout out to G Wiz.
G.
Baby Shaq.
Yes.
Eric Branham.
Man, they be sleeping on Eric.
EB. Yeah.
Sheik Pearson.
Sheik.
And then because I ain't say no NBA players. I ain't want to say no NBA players because you know KD would have just been a no-brainer. But if I can, I'll put KD And that just
There it is. All right, cool, man. All right, that's what's up, bro. You passed with flying colors. You passed with flying colors. So look, Lonnie, I saw on your post the other day, right? Where like I said, this Deon Sanders situation and stuff like that. And we brought on the lovely India on here as well, to gain her perspective as well. And everybody know that Deon Sanders left Jackson State and for Colorado, but we getting a lot of pullback, you know what I'm saying, from our people and stuff like that, as if the man can't make a decision, or in terms of what's best for his family or whatever. I don't care where you lie on it. I just want to get, what I'm saying, first get your perspective, and then India, I want you to chime in as well, okay? And then everybody else go from there.
Sure.
Well, we talk about basketball because I play basketball, but football my first love. Eric Dickerson and Deon Sanders are my two all-time favorite players, guys that I tried to mimic. And it's so crazy, ironically, that I was given number 21 at Georgetown, and I was given the name Prime at the Rutgers. I didn't ask for either one. So that's crazy right there in itself. But the whole Jackson State situation, I think, he got caught up because his push to promote HBCUs started off with, just him passionately, which his passion is real. We know that. He didn't go in there trying to pull no bag over nobody's head or, playing tricks. But from what I'm understanding, his experience there, as far as money and how he was treated, the crime and all these things was difficult for him to deal with, and his family. Like, they broke in his son's car 3 times, broke in his car, broke in his house, went in his office and stole something out the office, but the person got caught. He donated half of his salary to the university for renovations, and they put it to general funds. They didn't use it for what they were supposed to. They did math on the ticket sales and everything, and he was supposed to get a bonus and a percentage, but they said they don't know what happened to that money. There was a whole lot of things that's not in the media yet that we don't know about. But just on the surface, for him leaving, I think it's a great thing, because I made a post today and I said that, like, this move is huger than him building up HBCU. And the reason why I said it, because this is infiltration. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Mm. He's going to Colorado, and now he got, he put a post up on Twitter that said, y'all know where to find me at. It's over 8,000 at the time. This was yesterday when he first did it. It was 8,000 and something messages. I went through, I'm scrolling. It's 5-star, 4 stars, college players that's really good right now. Everybody, they sending them resumes, sending their videos, parents doing it.
Yeah, come and get me, huh?
Everything. Then you look at the portal. So I got a login for, it's called On3. They're one of the top portal chasing companies out here. So, you log into the portal and they update immediately when a player goes into the portal, or if a player signs. It even goes as deep as they'll show you what a kid worth as far as their NILs and all that stuff. So I've been following it all day. That's why I've been posting like, hey, this kid flipped. He committed. And also, not only that, Deon, his coach, is working so hard right now. They're sending out offers big time to kids that they didn't offer while they was at JSU. Because if people ain't paying attention to this, he didn't have a lot of commits coming in for next season. So this was bound to happen. He was not trying to bring any more kids into that situation. The whole water thing, he paying out his pocket for the athletic program, to stay in hotels outside the city so they could take baths. They took a bath in a pool, like all this crazy stuff. But he wasn't really trying to recruit for next season. I didn't know that at first. But I'm looking at the portal. I don't see too many commits that was going to JSU next year. Right. But anyway, I'm going all the way around.
No, you bet.
This is so iconic for him to go to Colorado and having this type of influence, being a black coach in a place that doesn't have many black coaches. Mm-hmm. And right now, if you had a meter of importance, obviously you're going to have Saban at the top. Deon going to be in that top 20. And I guarantee you, before him, it was no black coach nowhere near the top 100 probably. That man, he hasn't even played a game yet.
Right.
He already won. He shook them up so bad. They're shook right now. They probably thinking of ways and how they can stop him. But
That's not.
yeah, but our people, we need to stop though, because at the end of the day, if you get a check cut from somebody that's not your color, your complexion, you don't need to be speaking on, period. That's just how I feel about it. Honestly,
Right.
you judging a man because, all right, that's what it is. He going to a predominantly white school, yes, but guess what? HBCUs came from segregation. That's the chitlins. That's the leftovers off the table they give us. Because guess what? They own it. It's owned by white nonprofits. I don't even think people know that. I don't even think people know that. HBCUs are owned by white nonprofits. It's just like our black banks. What happened during the pandemic? The big white banks gave the black banks money, but they said you can only use it for this purpose or whatever. If you don't for that, give it back. And most of it was for bigger businesses. It wasn't for small businesses. So they probably had to get some of that money back. But at the end of the day, we work for whoever. We don't own anything on that level for Deon to stay there. We can't even pay Deon.
Yeah, and he sacrificed a lot, man. He sacrificed a lot.
Yeah, and he asked the billionaires, the black ones,
Yeah,
to help and support.
Expound on that, because I heard that today too.
Yeah, he reached out to everybody. He was asking everybody for money. He was asking the rappers, everybody. He was asking whoever black that had some money to come on, man, and jump on board with this, because he was doing the whole thing for all the HBCU.
Right. And it fell on deaf ears.
Yeah,
allegedly.
the combines. He had them come in, get all the best players to come so they can take a pick of the litter. Like all of them can't go to Jackson State. But then the coaches didn't accept him even in the conference. He ain't swag. He not. So what y'all expect people to expect?
Yeah.
He ain't swag. He packed now.
There it is.
And guess what? I bet you this is how dumb they are. And I'm calling these coaches dumb. I bet you them Pac-12 coaches, they can't wait for him to get there. Because guess what? If they sold 45,000 and it was 7,000 seats left, them 7,000 going to be filled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are going to be filled. He's going to bring more money, TV, everything to that conference. So that's us. That's what we do, though.
Yeah, it is. What's your perspective, India?
I mean, I agree, to a certain extent, but that's just because also, when you're a business person, you think that way. You know what I mean? Like I said in my, on my post, emotionally, as a HBCU graduate, I did want, I wanted him to stay. I knew he was going to leave, right, but I wanted him to stay probably about 3 more years. And that's just because of, my specialty area is leadership, and just to give an opportunity for a leader to actually do certain things while they're there. But then I started thinking about, the average time of a leader, like the average tenure of a leader. And, when I posted about, I think, Prime, you made a good point. That it wasn't worth it for him. All the bad treatment he received, most of the people that are making all of these, bad posts about him, do you even watch HBCU football? First of all,
right.
Like me and my husband, we watch HBCU football. We watch Jackson State. Like it was, I feel bad for my friends that, are BCU alums, and also Jackson State specifically. But yeah, from a business perspective, I just think that, it's going to be good for him. Leaders usually don't stay, someplace for a long time. Like everybody's like, well, Florida State didn't want him. All these places didn't want him before he came to JSU, right? Mm-hmm. And also people also are saying, from the post that I'm seeing, they also have a problem with the fact that he said he brought God into it. And he said that he felt like he was being led somewhere else, right? Mm-hmm. And this is not a religious conversation, but I will say this. Why can't he, you're someplace for an appointed time, and then sometimes you just have to move forward to a new challenge. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that's what is for, what it's going to be for him. I do see and feel that he set a standard. And I hope that, the athletic staff, at JSU can maintain that, or, just keep moving forward with it, and also just HBCU athletics in general. As far as like HBCUs being on the chitlin circuit, I will disagree with you on that part.
No.
I understand what you were saying, but I'm just saying, like, academically, no, sir. And I will say, because I have graduated from 2 top HBCUs, and I've also graduated from PWIs. And I will say that when I went to those schools, I was more than prepared, and I definitely competed. And I actually was bored because I was challenged where I was. So as far
drop your school, drop your HBCUs, India.
Hampton University and
shout out to the Pirates.
Is that the real HU?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so let the record show, right? I am from DC, okay, Northeast, all right, Douglas Street. Let's be clear. All right. I grew up on Howard University's campus. I have no problem with Howard University. However, when it came time for me to go to college, I felt like I needed to be in a different setting.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't really care about that. I mean, when me and like some Howard people get together, we joke about it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, you better not really say anything about none of us, for real. Like, you know, like, so, because it's still, we fight about it, but it's more like inner family fighting to me. You know what I'm saying? But as far as my family schools, Howard is one of them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem. I don't really care about that HBCU. I mean,
a win-win situation.
I really could care less. But I will say, you know, I mean, if you're talking about the school that's always consistently more financially stable, that's Hampton.
Wow.
That part.
Okay.
What we
That part.
Okay. And so, like, just like you said, there was a lot of different, you know, things on the backside that come up, but that's one of the things that I had a problem with. College game day came to Jackson, and when they got there was a water problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that that's beyond JSU's control.
Right.
But it's just like when you really evaluate, like when you have a new opportunity coming your way, you're like, okay, let me see. I got to deal with this all the time, theft, hating, and then I can at least try my hand, you know, at Colorado. You know, I do wish he was going to like Florida State or something. You know what I'm saying? I do, or, you know, Alabama or something like that. But we'll see what happens. You know, but
I'm pretty sure that's not going to be his last stop.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And I'm just I'm actually just in favor of elevation. And it's elevation for the culture, though. It's not just for him.
He didn't want to go to a school that had a rich history.
Right.
He didn't want to do that. And one thing I like that you said as well is about the leaders, how long they stay. I have a friend, young lady named Bozema St. John. She's heavy hitter.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy hitter in marketing. She was the marketing director at Pepsi, Apple, Netflix. Who else? Everybody. Bose, what's the thing? The earphones, the Beats by Dre.
Yeah.
And she usually stays around 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she just now left Netflix. She's the reason why when they brought Moesha and all them black shows back and all that, that was her. And now she just rolled out on Netflix. So and she's been there for 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a lot of times people don't realize it. Like now in this day and age, like it's rare to see someone stay on the job for like 20, 30 years. It just depends on your profession. You know, you go in, and Bose is she's absolutely effective in the marketing lane and just her overall just influence. But I will say that, like, you go in, you do your job and you leave. And then you go and you take your talents someplace else.
And think about it. Them two are similar with their personalities and everything.
Absolutely.
Right? They're strong. They're strong people. They're confident people. They know what they want. They know how to go get it. Like, they win before they get in the room. So you're not going to tell them that they're not going to win.
That's the one right there, yeah.
Deon going to jump out there. He going to tell you, like, hey, we're going to win this year. Everybody else, like, give him 2 or 3 years. He like, what? Like, y'all disrespecting me. And then that's the part that people not realizing. Think about this now. I'm going to say this. It's a simple sentence. Deon Sanders was the coach of Jackson State. Did that make any sense to you when you hear that? Think about it. Deon Sanders was the coach of Jackson State. He had no business down there, period. And I'm not trying to say that he was too good for that situation, but Deon Sanders was coaching Jackson State.
Yeah, I think we take it for granted. You know,
they did
definitely take it for granted.
Well, I will say this. I've been thinking about this, and I think that as much as JSU needed Deon, Deon needed to have that experience as well. And the reason why I say that is because I'll just take, for instance, like students that go to HBCUs, right? A lot of times, well, I'm going to say a lot of times, I have found that there are people there that needed that extra time, that extra like cultural experience being in that setting. And maybe he needed that for like as a coach, but also just being amongst the students and making that type of like the connections with, you know, Black students at that time and just being able to just set an example in that setting. Right. But now that he's like kind of like got his bearings, and I mean, he's always a confident person, but now that he actually added, I feel like it added something to him. Now that that's the case, he can go to Colorado and he'll have like a heightened experience, because I'll just say that I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter where you go to school, as long as you have a great experience. But for me, I know that graduating from Hampton was a great opportunity because I learned who I was. And when I walk in a room, I just already know like who I am. And I really don't care whether like, I care, but I already know who I am. So whether you like me or not, it's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it just added to him. And I know that there are going to be aspects of it. He's going to miss some aspects. I know he's going to probably miss the students, you know, but at the end, of course, the band, you know what I'm saying? All of that. But at the end of the day, you know, and JSU is going to live on.
I didn't like how they did him that last game when they was playing that song. You got to go, baby, saying that he go ahead. You know what I'm talking about, Mo?
Yeah, they was spurring. Like, hey, that's just spurring lovers, man. You know, they spurned a little bit. You know,
well, I'll tell you this. I mean, and I know probably some of my friends at JSU are probably mad at me, but we probably would never do that at Hampton.
Yeah, I don't. Think
I mean,
so.
But they have. But you know, that's how they felt. And, you know, he has to take that, you know what I'm saying? Because he knows as much as he has to do what he has to do, he knows what his presence meant.
Yeah.
You know, to the university, HBCU athletic culture, he just knew what that meant. But when you're called to do something else, you have to take it in, but you also have to just keep moving forward.
What you got to say about to that, Mills?
Just that the blueprint is already there now, right? Mm-hmm. In the culture, you know, sometimes we got to step up. There are, you know, there may not be personalities as big as Deon Sanders, but there are people with, you know, coaching acumen and, you know, might have connections with a network with money, right? So let's keep that going. Let's spread it. You know, nobody's really talking about Eddie George at Tennessee State, you know, and bringing in, just building the network, making it known. And I think that's the first thing we all want. Like for HBCUs, I went to a PWI. I'm not regretting my experience, but I do wish, having a family that everybody else went to a HBCU, that I had that experience. I understand it now.
Right.
But like I said, the blueprint is set. Maybe somebody should step up and go there. Right. I was in Alabama when Alabama State, their homecoming, Jackson State came there. And the pride in the people who were at my hotel and going to the game and, you know, like that means something. So let's not stifle him. I never thought he would stay there forever, but he already laid the groundwork. Somebody else come in and pick it up. Pick the ball up and keep it moving. Don't think it's, you know, bad for Jackson State. Like you keep shining, right? Right. You know, now if you get somebody who maybe not have a personality like Deon Sanders and maybe not have the network and the money, you know, people might turn their backs. Like I was offended when game day went and didn't do the game. I was like, wait,
How
you know what I'm saying? Like how? Like I was specifically thinking that they do that late game usually, but they didn't do the game, and it was on like ESPN3 or whatever.
They had on ESPN Deportes.
Whatever, right? That was disrespectful to me. Like, why you go? You know, and shout out to the Bear who just left ESPN after 27 years to go to Fox, right? So the researcher for game day, but I'm not mad at him. Like I don't understand. A lot of people we do this to ourselves, and we get on Twitter and we sit and we just criticize because we don't have nothing else to do. And I'm not saying that I'm never that person, but let that man go. Let him. You know, he had other designs to do other things. It may not be about the money. Like I heard it was for $5 million. Then I was like 27 million. I don't know how much. It don't matter. He not
a year.
He's not feeding me. It's let him. Let be Colorado be great, right? Jackson State and all the other HBCUs on that level, on a SWAC level, on a D1 level. Somebody else slide in and pick up the ball. Maybe that AD is at Jackson State needs to make a concerted effort to bring in somebody close to Deon's caliber.
No, they do. They have a coach already. His assistant coach, he referred him.
Okay, I did hear that.
What, Dennis Thurman?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So
Dennis Thurman?
Yeah. Because they wanted to keep one of the coaches in there to keep the players who are going to stay and for the recruits that they did recruit to go to Jackson so they can still come. And he know the blueprint. So
that's all I have to say. It's do your thing. You know what I'm saying? If you were led somewhere else, why stay, you know, when I tell my students, if you going through hell, don't stop. Shit, keep going, right?
Yeah, it is.
So,
what you got, Mo?
Man, I think the whole situation is like hypocritical, right? If you're in a situation where you can like get to the top of your profession, you're gonna leave and you're gonna do that because that's what we all aspire to do. You wake up every morning to be better than yesterday. And if you have a chance to do that in the coaching profession, you're going to do that. And then as far as the HBCUs and it goes now, there's a couple infrastructure things that we got to fix, right? I'll be honest. I was supposed to go to South Carolina State, but they ran out of money, like back in the day, because they had a scandal where they were stealing the money. You know what I'm saying? So, like that has to stop itself. And then there has to be a better alumni pool when they get on the boards of some of these jobs that they can hire some of the student bodies. That way, we'll want to go to those schools. Because as it stands right now, everyone's talking about Deon. But you're not making your son or daughter go to HBCUs.
Sure ain't.
You sending them to the first college where it's smoking, where it's hot, because that's what we're gonna do. So I think the whole situation is hypocritical. And then third, as a fan of Deon Sanders, I was really offended when Eddie Robinson Jr. turned his back on him. Like the only reason ESPN is in the room is because of Deon Sanders.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So all of those combined to say, hey, look. Don't count somebody else's money. HBCUs, if you want to get on that playing field, fix your internal issues. And then lastly, look at yourself. Would you have done what Deon did? I'm going to speak for myself. Hell yeah, I would have. Matter of fact, I got offered, I'm in the Army, so I got offered a better company today. I'm going to take that shit because that's what's going to help me get my next promotion. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing, like when y'all talk about leadership, the art of leadership is designed 2 to 3 years is an impactful time for a military leader. Because after a while, the rhetoric that you spew will fall on deaf tone. Like you have to change the leader up because you start getting too close to your soldiers or your subordinates. It's a thing. You don't really want to be at a program longer than that. That's why Nick Saban continuously changes out his coordinators. Like his voice doesn't change, but he's not actually really talking to the players like that.
Right.
There's those position coaches and those coordinators. If you notice, they don't stay longer than 2 to 3 years. So that that's what I got to say about that one.
What you got, Cobra?
You know, I had mixed feelings in the beginning because I had this grand vision. It's probably more so like wishful thinking that when Deon went to JSU and they got in their winning ways and he was able to recruit top talent, and they even stole somebody from Florida State. I think the #1 recruit in the nation.
Yes.
So I had this vision that that was going to be the norm, not just at Jackson State, but the other HBCUs was going to catch the wave. And then next thing you know, you have HBCUs being at a level where they'll be able to compete with top Division I schools or Power 5 schools. That was the grand vision that I had. I was like, Deon is just getting the wheel turning for this to happen in like a 5 to 10 year window. You know what I mean? But then when I look at it, just as all of you pointed out to, I mean, progression is the key. We all want to progress in life. I don't care if it's your job, right. Just your growth as a person. We all looking to progress. So him making that move was the best move for him and his family and his career. But also, I think it's beneficial for us in terms of you talking about a sport that's 75 to 80% black, right? Mm-hmm. And HBCUs, we have no problem with representations with black head coaches at HBCUs, but we do have an issue with black head coaches in Power 5 schools, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why I applauded Notre Dame for their hire. Coach Marcus, being hired for that job. So now with Deon going to Colorado, and like Lonnie said, he's automatically going to be placed in that top 10, top 20 tier as a coach at a Power 5 school. He's going to be able to show the world with a big lens what somebody like him can do if you give him the controls to a university like that. Mm-hmm. They haven't done nothing in 20 years, right? 20 years with all these so-called great coaches, big name coaches. Now Deon comes in there and he's going to turn that program around. Yeah, it's going to open some eyes.
Michael Westbrook ain't walking through that door.
Yeah, it's going to open some eyes, but most of all, it's going to open some doors. And that's what I'm looking at with this move that Deon made to Colorado.
So one thing I loved about his conversation with the press and the team and when he got to Colorado is that he virtually said, "I see you" to the black players.
Yeah,
I see you. He said, and he didn't leave out the other players, but he said, "I see you." Right? And that's not his quote, but something to that effect.
I'm coming.
Yeah. So guys, before we wrap up, do you guys see the other side of it in terms of why everybody's upset? Because my daughter had texted me before we started the show, and she said, "Dad, I hope you guys are going to talk about how Prime used HBCU culture to build hype and resume to dip for Colorado on the podcast."
So,
and I'm like, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, El.
Go ahead, Prime. Go ahead.
Have your daughter look at, Deon videos everything. So this is why he's not beefing. He not snapping back at people or anything. He just slowly posting the videos. In that same meeting with his team, the coaches was there, the team managers was there. And the same meeting when he said, "Don't go in the portal because y'all think the grass is green on the other side." People was offended with that. But it's the reality of it. A lot of those guys cannot play on the Power 5 school. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
But one of the young men who's a senior, was there before Deon. Country boy, very, very deep accent. You could barely probably understand him. That slang is just woof. But what you did understand him saying that when you got here, I didn't know what winning was about. I didn't know that it existed. And not only on the field, but in life, period. Mm-hmm. He said, "Man, you done changed my life so much. You done bring a perspective here that now I can run with, I can go with. I thank you." They was thanking him for it. They wasn't mad because he was leaving or anything. Then a young lady, one of the managers, she was like, "Look," she country too. She was like, "Look, my grades was bad and this, I'm getting A's and B's now." She was like, "You changed my life," or whatever. That man touched who he needed to touch. Mm-hmm. He was there for a season and it worked. It worked. Now these kids that been around him, they're going to be leaders. They're going to run with it because they had that moment. Black people, we love feel-good moments.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
We love feel-good moments. He made them kids feel amazing. One of my players, she was at Rutgers. She went in the portal. She looking for a school. I said, "Go to Jackson State." I said, go ride that wave. Her and Deon's daughter friends now. She having the ball. She having a blast. He support them. His daughter on the team.
Okay.
So you know he's not gonna let them, fall from grace or anything. They're not the best team in the country.
So Lonnie, how can I keep Cobra, Mills Lane, and Mo Money from going into the transfer portal?
Oh man, let me tell you, I lost so many kids as a coach, regardless of how good I was.
Y'all did get that right. Yeah.
This is all you got to do. You got, and then I love like people. I got some of my closest friends. They funny. They think I don't like black people because I make jokes. I be serious.
Wow.
I be serious. We got stereotypes too. So we gonna stereotype we stereotype us. But I always be telling them like, look, let them go ahead and test the water. They be back. I tell them, they be back. And I'm gonna tell you, we love feel good moments, and we love to say, "I told you so."
That's right. There you go, Gail.
Yeah. Hey, I could have answered that question for you, Fred. It's 3 letters. NIL.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. I'm working on that blue and white carry-out NIL deal right now.
NIL. Oh,
hey, Fred, though, I'm gonna answer the young queen's question though, and I want her to check herself when she look in the mirror.
I hope you listening, Lexus.
And she go get a job, right? She gonna have to start at the entry level to build her resume. It's no different than what Prime did. We all got to stack our resume.
Yes.
And you know what?
Deon started with the jerry curl. Look where he at now. That's growth.
Came a long way.
Hey, the Falcons couldn't afford him. They was nervous.
Mills.
It's always been about Deon. Always been about Deon.
For sure.
That man went down there and was allowed to be black. That's what he did.
That's what I was thinking. I agree.
Brand. He needed, like you said earlier, he needed JSU so he can go build his brand being him.
Mm-hmm.
So now they saw what he did being him. And guess what else, though? People fail to realize it ain't only about JSU. It's about his Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
His social media.
Yeah.
That man used that situation. Yes, used that situation to better himself. And he did it with people, though. See, that's the thing. So all them people gonna come up. All the people who around him, who've been with him, they all coming up. They moving up now.
Lonnie, before we depart, and we're about to depart in the next couple of minutes, I need you to just give me your opinion on what do we do about Georgetown, man? We out here losing to online schools, man. We losing to DeVry. I mean, come on, man. What the heck is going on here, man? We out here losing to business and accounting schools, man. What the hell is going on with Pat Ewing, man? Perry McDonald rolling over in his grave right now, man.
See, you ready to get me in trouble because you know.
Hey, you can plead the 5th, brother. You can plead the 5th.
I don't plead no 5th because then I mean I'm holding it in, and that's not good.
That's not healthy.
What is the problem? We're losing recruits. People are transferring left and right. What is it?
So Pat ain't the problem. Pat's not the problem. When you walk in that gym or the arena and you look at that team and you look at that bench, you got to find people that can relate to those kids.
Okay.
So he got to have a balance. I don't think the balance is there on the coaching staff. And I think that's part of the issue when it comes to recruiting and teaching.
Not even the guy they picked up from LSU, the assistant coach from LSU.
LSU, this is DC.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Who from here in this area? That's a state. Like I don't really understand why Charles. I don't think Charles won coach though. Charles a hustler.
Charles Smith.
Yeah, Charles a hustler. Charles a business.
I would love it, bro. I would love it.
That's my guy. Like Charles is one of my favorites. People don't talk
Shout
about
out to Smitty.
I always find a way to throw Smitty in conversations. Whether I don't care what it's about. It could be about playing tennis. I find, Smitty. It's like, that's my guy though. But I would have loved for him to be on that staff, but I don't think he really wanted to do that. Smitty is a true hustler. He's a businessman. That man.
Okay, so if it ever don't work out with Pat Ewing, who would you like to see? You know what I'm saying, at the Realm?
If Pat was done, I think after Pat, man, that's tough. Because honestly, I don't know of any players that was at Georgetown. I don't even think I have to be a player from Georgetown, just somebody from this area because we got all the talent right here. I think we would need somebody younger who can tap into this local. Man, I'm ready to say something crazy. It just came to my head. I'm ready to say something real crazy, and people ain't gonna like this.
It's the No Cap Sports Show podcast.
I would let Gerard Mustaf from Maryland coach Georgetown.
I'm not mad at that, but do you think it would ever happen?
No.
Right.
They're not gonna do that because you gotta think of now when you start going back door behind the scenes, who's
Ronnie, because Ronnie Thompson run that program, right?
I said the R, but I was gonna say who's running Georgetown. You said the R. There you have it.
There it is. Okay. Any of you guys got final thoughts, man, before we depart?
Man, let me tell you, Lonnie, my bedtime is like 9:15 strong. You have kept me engaged. It has been a pleasure. I want you to come back to the show. I got a podcast. I'm gonna shout mine out before you shoot yours out, called Just Being Honest with Mills Lane on Instagram. And you are that, just being honest. And I appreciate that and that transparency and the no fear, right? Because you grew up here. Like you have to have a sense of no fear. And I think all of us sports lovers on here, when we go to see another sporting event and we see a team losing, like that's that thing. You can smell fear. So if you can tap into that and tell them, just have that team no fear. Like I think we all understand that. So I appreciate you for coming on tonight.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you as well.
Mo, Cole.
Appreciate Prime and India for coming on and offering up a different perspective. Prime, you're the LeBron hater, but you came with facts. You didn't just say I don't like him because he's 6'8" and I don't like him just because I don't like him. I appreciate that.
The twitch.
Yeah, I just don't like him. And then India, you came on. You know, God bless you with the HBCUs. Hopefully, we continue to see great things.
Thank you.
Keep being an advocate of it. So appreciate both of y'all for coming on.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Look here, Elle, is there anything that you would like to plug? Like I said before we depart, because like I said, I know you got a couple of ventures going on. I know you got that 1865 down northwest, right up off Georgia Avenue.
Yeah.
G.
Jones took me there.
He did.
Yeah.
But it's the first time I'm saying it. I haven't made any announcements or anything like that. But it's a restaurant group. It's a group that owns it. Parting ways because I'm about to start my own.
Hey,
there it is.
Yeah.
Salute.
There it is. Okay. There it is. There you have it. And let me ask you this: Don't you got a little birdie told me there's a podcast in the future?
Yeah, man. And I've been shooking and jiving for probably 2 years now that I've been supposed to do. I supposed to been doing this. I got a pretty good situation too. They've been waiting on me. And I've been playing games, but you know, when you do some things, you gotta feel it. You know, you gotta be all into it. You can't just go and be like I'm on Facebook. It takes me. So, prayerfully, December the 16th. It's called Prime's Turn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because pretty much it's like, I'm listening, I'm paying attention, but now I'm gonna speak mine. It's pretty much this show. It's pretty much what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know, unapologetically. It ain't that I don't care. But I'm gonna speak my mind pretty much at the end of the day. Like my boots been strapped. I'm tough skinned. People talk about me and everything. I embrace it. So people gotta do the same.
That's right, man. And being unapologetically yourself at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Right. India, I want to tell you, I appreciate you coming on, giving us your great perspective. You know, we definitely appreciate it. And like I said, hopefully this is not the last time you come on to give us perspective. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I'll get you back, India. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Look here, Elle. Look here, man. We, like I said, bro, we appreciate you, man. It was long overdue, man. We appreciate your vibe, man. And hey, man, thanks once again. And hopefully we can get you back on, like I said, next year sometime, bro.
Definitely. Just let me know, man. Always. I have fun, man. I enjoy y'all.
That's what's up. Mills, get us on out of here, huh?
Everybody, all hearts and minds clear. Y'all, I'm sleepwalking. Thank you for watching us again this week. It's the No Cap Sports Show. I am Mills Lane signing off for all of us because we tired. Catch us next week. We'll be back. We love these conversations. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.